Quick note, this is an AI voice, human-written script. I'm Lukas Hoffmann, AI product lead. I've watched a lot of makers try to fund software the wrong way. So let me save you a few months. Here's the thing, and it's simple. Someone tells you about their software project, and then they go, "We're thinking about doing a Kickstarter." And look, I get the appeal. Kickstarter's visible. It's legit. It gives you a deadline and a bit of buzz. Everyone understands it. But for software, 9 times out of 10, it's the wrong tool. Not because Kickstarter's bad, it's genuinely great at what it does. The problem is what it does. So let me walk you through the options makers reach for. Kickstarter, Patreon, donations, grants, where each one actually breaks, and what's really missing. Not which platform's best. What fits the way software actually behaves. Start with Kickstarter. It's built for campaigns that end. That's not a knock, that's the design. You've got a thing, you raise money, you build it, you ship it, you send the rewards. Done. Physical products live like that. Board games, hardware, a book. There's a version 1 you can hold, and then it's finished. Software doesn't work like that, and every maker learns it the hard way. You ship version 1, then 1.1, then 2. Then the bug you didn't see coming. Then some dependency changes its API on a Tuesday. Then a user needs a thing that was never in scope. Software is never done. It's continuous. The launch isn't the finish line. It's the start of a maintenance relationship that runs for years. And honestly, the numbers back this up. Across Kickstarter as a whole, under half of projects hit their goal, historically around 40%. But technology projects? Way worse. Historically, only about 1 in 4 tech projects even reaches its funding target. That's not because those founders are bad at their jobs. It's because the model and the medium are pulling in opposite directions. Where it really bites is the all-or-nothing mechanic. You set a goal, run the campaign, hit it, funding unlocks. You miss it, backers pay nothing, you walk with nothing. For a physical product with a factory minimum, fair enough. Under a certain number, you literally can't make the thing. But for software, that cliff is completely artificial. Say you need 50 grand to build a feature and you raise 42. All or nothing says 0. But come on, $42,000 of real dev work absolutely ships something. The gap between 84% and 100 isn't impossible versus possible. It's a scope call. The mechanic invented a cliff that didn't need to exist. Quick pause for a word from this video's sponsor, which, full disclosure, is our own thing. And I'm handing this one to my colleague Alex, because he's better at the calm, considered version than I am.
Thanks, Lucas. So here's the thing. Most makers are solving 2 problems at once: what to build next and how to keep the lights on while they build it. Those feel like separate problems. They're not. Swoin.io connects them. Your community subscribes monthly, which gives you a predictable, recurring revenue stream. And with each subscription, they get innovation tokens they allocate to features, so the roadmap reflects where the real energy actually is. You stop guessing, and you stop choosing between building sustainably and building the right things. Links in the description. Back to you, Lucas.
Thanks, Alex. Okay. The other thing about the campaign model is what happens after it ends. Your backers are locked in for the campaign window. Deadline, momentum, the whole event. Then it closes, everyone moves on, and you're building alone, funded by a one-time spike in a world where the work never stops. And the people who funded the pitch aren't necessarily the people using it in 2 years. Then you need more money. You will, because software always runs longer than you estimated. So you run another campaign, another cliff, another marketing sprint, from a team that should be shipping code. That's the trap. All right, the alternatives. Patreon actually fixes some of this. It's recurring, no cliff, patrons back ongoing work, much closer to reality. But Patreon was built for creators, artists, podcasters, writers. The deal is support my creative output, get access and extras. Maps great to content, maps badly to software. What's missing is a product development mechanic. No feature voting, no roadmap tied to where the money goes. It's support without influence. Fine for a podcast where the creator just decides. Weird for software. Your patrons pay every month, but they're not actually participating. The line between "I support this" and "this is what got built" is invisible. And turns out that's exactly what drives churn. A spike when you announce, quiet months while you build, then people drift because progress doesn't feel like progress on a Patreon update. Open source donations. GitHub sponsors, open collective. Even more basic problem, they frame the whole thing as charity. Support a maintainer makes them the recipient and you the benefactor. No reciprocity baked in. And that's awkward for everyone. Most people don't want to feel like donors, they want to feel like participants. And the money shows it. Donation funding is irregular, unpredictable, and massively skewed to a handful of famous projects. Everyone else gets basically nothing. Then grants. Grants are genuinely great for bounded work. A security audit, docs, a specific research deliverable. Fixed scope, clear output, they work. But they're competitive, bureaucratic, time-limited. Grant funds a deliverable. Deliverables done, grants done. Back to square one, and you burned real time writing the application. And a grant doesn't build you a community. The funder's an institution, not a user. Nobody who paid is going to use the thing. So what actually matters here? Strip away the platforms and a funding model for software has to do 5 things. Recurring. The work's continuous, so the money has to be. User aligned. The people paying should be the people using it. Structured. The community needs a way to say what they want, not just pay. Predictable. You can't plan a roadmap against random donations and cliff campaigns. And reciprocal. Supporters get something back. Involvement, roadmap visibility, actual influence over what gets built. That's what turns a payment into a relationship. And here's the kicker. None of the models I just listed hit all 5. Patreon gets recurring, half reciprocal, misses structured, and user-aligned. Kickstarter misses the whole time axis. Donations, irregular and non-reciprocal. Grants, non-user-aligned and non-recurring. That's the gap, and it's not subtle. Full disclosure, that gap is exactly what we're building Swan.io for. So take my objectivity with a grain of salt. And to be clear, we're not a replacement for Kickstarter or Patreon or grants. Those all do their own job fine. It's a different model, shaped around how software actually works. Subscription-based, not campaign-based. You earn from your first subscriber. No cliff, no minimum goal, recurring revenue you can plan against. Supporters get innovation tokens with the subscription, a monthly allocation that scales with their support, and those tokens are a voting currency for the roadmap. Once they commit tokens to a feature, it's irreversible, so a vote is a real, weighted decision, not a casual click. The roadmap's visible. There's a discussion layer built right where the funding lives, and the fees are simple. Free to start, you only pay on real revenue. Run it against the 5, and it's built to hit all of them. I'm not saying it's perfect or the only answer. I'm saying the gaps are real, and this is aimed straight at them. Whether it works in practice, I'm finding out with every maker who builds on it. So, 3 things to take away. 1. The mismatch between campaign funding and continuous development isn't a Kickstarter flaw, it's a category problem. One-time campaigns and never-done software just don't fit. 2. Every alternative has a specific structural gap, and it's in the design intent, not the execution. Patreon wasn't built for software. Donations weren't built for reciprocity. Grants weren't built for community. 3. Those 5 criteria: recurring, user-aligned, structured, predictable, reciprocal, are a genuinely useful checklist for any funding model you're weighing. Most won't hit all 5. Know which ones they miss before you commit. If you're building software and you've smacked into these walls, swoon.io, free to start. Links in the description: swoon.io/s/YT607A, pinned in the comments too. And if this is your kind of thing, real product and funding decisions with the numbers, hit subscribe. I do these regularly. Next up, I'd watch the one on which engineering practices actually survive when you're a team of one. My colleague Alex took the whole Dora research and ran it solo, and the answer is more useful than you'd expect. It's on the end screen. Go take a look. And I'm honestly curious, which model have you tried and what broke first? The Kickstarter cliff? The Patreon drop-off? A grant running dry? Drop it in the comments. I read them.